This podcast is to tell you that no matter what you think is wrong with you, so you can never be happy in vet med, it is just the story you're making up. I know this because for myself and coaching other clients, I have found out that our brains will always come out with some sort of story about why we're just not capable of fitting in this type of work. So you might be thinking that either you'll never be happy because of external circumstances, so it's too stressful, clients are not nice enough, whatever it is. I think my prior podcast and post, if you've followed me for a while, have made pretty clear that external circumstances cannot determine whether you're happy or not in a field. That is something that depends on your internal world. Okay, without saying that you're to blame and not making you a victim, but just kind of like putting the power back on you and how much you can do with your inner work so you are mentally and emotionally resilient and you can work in this field. Okay, so if we are clear on external circumstances are not it, my clients then jump to the conclusion, and I did as well, that it's because there's something wrong with me. And I see two currents here. Either you feel you have no reason to be unhappy. You are like, well, everything should be fine. I had a lovely childhood. I have a support of my family, but I'm not happy. I should be because it's the perfect job. I worked so hard to get here. There must be something wrong with me, and I am just generally ungrateful, and I just cannot be happy. So that's one side of the story. Like, you're unhappy, but once you kind of see that, okay, if it's not the external circumstances, then there's something wrong with me. That is one side of it. The other side are people like me who have had traumatic childhoods in some way. I have told in prior stories about my dad who was an alcoholic. It was kind of a violent household. But there was also, for example, the trauma of I was incredibly bullied at school, right? My dad was really old fashioned and had this idea. I was his little princess. I was not allowed to own jeans until my parents divorced, and I think I was 11. So I was obviously excluded in school. And one of the things that I have most trauma about, I think I was 7 or 8 years old, and one of my classmates must have been forced to invite me to her birthday. And I remember I have no recollection of what else happened, but what I do remember is in this birthday, there was this girl's house. She said out loud, or she kind of whispered around for everybody to meet in the living room, so not in her room. And then she took everybody in there, and then she pushed me out and said, no, you are not allowed. And then she gave all of the other little girls a little gift. They got a little present apart from me. I was like stuck outside the door. So I have had a lot of work to do on me trying to be able to fit in. I have had a long story of thinking I am not confident enough because of my childhood and everything that happened. My confidence in myself is not strong enough, and that comes across, and people can feel that. And that's why I don't fit in. And that's why clients don't trust me. And that's why a lot of things, right? Until a coach pointed out to me, what's the problem not being confident? Like, what is the problem? No. And then this bubble just burst, and I'm like, okay, yeah, what is the problem if I'm not confident? I'm confident in some things. I don't have to be confident in everything. And then I started doing some work on that unraveled. But my point is that some of us will think I am not made for vet med because I am not strong enough. There's something internally wrong with me. Maybe I'm neurodivergent, some sort of autism or whatever. We all have ADHD, none of us are perfect. And we have this story that because of what happened to us or because of the way we are, that's why we're unhappy, and that's why we just can't fit in. So those are the two stories. Like there's nothing wrong with me. So why am I not happy? I should be happy, but I'm not. So then there must be something wrong with me, but there shouldn't be. So that's the wrongness. Or the other side, which is I had all this happen to me in my past, or maybe even now. And because I am so broken, I cannot be happy. I cannot be functional within this field. And if you look at it, like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, either you are already not broken and then you should fit in, or you are broken and then you don't. Like, how can it be both? And what I'm saying is, like, our brains will try to protect us, will tell us you need to leave this field, you'll be happy somewhere else, the grass is greener. And these are the reasons why you don't fit in. like once we've kind of overcome the belief that external circumstances make us unhappy, we then go internally and think, what is wrong with me? Why am I so broken? So I want you to find out what your stories are inside of your head that make you believe that you cannot be happy being a vet in the work you're in right now. It might be you have to change clinic, right? Maybe for some reason you are not happy where you are. It could be a toxic workplace, but for sure you can find work within the field in the clinic and be happy somewhere if you do the internal work. And what can I say? I want to invite you to coaching because that is what turned my life around. I had so many stories I needed to unravel, and I could tell you all about it. I could tell about the years I spent, the $50,000 I've spent over the few years, how much work I've done, all the books I've read, all the webinars, the workshops. I've been everywhere to try and find out, like, how can I be happy just generally and also in this field. But I think we all have our own journey. We all have our own way of finding out, but I want definitely to invite you to go on the journey and find out how can you be happy in this field, and where is it that your brain is making up these stories about I cannot be happy because of this, because it's just a story and it is never a fact. If I could get over my fear of rejection and my conviction that I would not fit in anywhere after all the shit that happened in my childhood, so can you, no matter what story you have. I for sure want to invite you to come on a conversation with me, and I can challenge that thought of yours if you like. I do have some spaces left for one-on-one coaching, and I totally believe that I am the perfect person to help you if you are struggling with being happy in VetMed because of everything I've learned through the work on myself and my coaching. And then you combine it with all the knowledge I have from clinic. And that is something that some of my clients say as well. Like, they wanted me to help them because I have the background I have. And I totally understand. You don't have to sit half an hour and explain to me the stress you went through in a gastrotomy or whatever you had, because I know exactly what you're talking about because I've been there. But my coaching program is 4 months, and I happen to go to Thailand for a little while in January. I'm going to take a little break. So if you want to get your 4 months of coaching in before the end of the year, I highly suggest that you sign up very soon for a consult with me. And then we can work on what stories you have, what beliefs you have. And then we can see, okay, does it make sense for me to coach you? Is there something else you need? I have no attachment for you to be my client. I just want to help as many as possible to get over these stories and enjoy their lives as a vet. So I'll put the link in the show notes for a free consult with me. Reach out if you can't find, because that's another thing. Obviously, it's holidays now, so I do have very few spaces free for a free consult. But if you really want to get on a call with me, I will happily make space for you at a weekend or something. We just need to agree on a time. So reach out to me. You can DM me anywhere on socials or my emails, and try it out. Try out a call with me, and let's challenge that belief you have and find the story that's keeping you from being happy in VetMed. That was all for this week. I am so appreciative of your time listening to this podcast. This is my little soul baby, and I really appreciate you taking the time. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.